What's your expectation for growth this year and next, Peter?
First of all, you're cracking me up this morning. I'm following UFOs. That's all good. But one thing, the only thing unidentified these days is whether Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to pack the Supreme Court. Well, we'd love to know the answer. What I can say about these forecasts for 2021, here's the thing. It's like, Maria, you and I used to do this years ago when I was in civilian clothes as a macro forecaster. You can't really make a forecast without policy assumptions. So I think every forecaster today has to have two forecasts. One, Joe Biden's economy. The other is Donald Trump's economy. And if you just break everything down, I think it's pretty clear Joe Biden's economy is depression, bear market. Donald Trump's economy so far has been beautiful. We've got some struggles ahead in 2021, but I think what you need is the greatest jobs president and trade negotiator in history in for 4 more years if we're going to deal with those structural problems.
So do you expect growth then at the end of this year and into 2021? Because what the blue chip panelists are saying is that growth is going to slow down to 1.9% this year, followed by 2% in 2021. Even though they're pulling back their expectations on recession penetrating, they do see things slowing down quite a bit. You're talking about President Trump's economy. What are the plans to get those growth numbers up? And do you expect growth in 2021, Peter?
Well, this is deja vu all over for me. In 2016, we had the same issues where we had kind of this new normal. We all remember that, not fondly. Where we could never grow more than 1 or 2%. That was the Biden-Obama world. And what President Donald J. Trump did going into January of 2020 was consistently outperform those forecasts and outperform those expectations. So here's I think the way to think about it. If you look at all the approaches that Donald Trump takes to stimulating the economy, it starts with all job creation is local. So start with the defense spending. We can guarantee that Harris, Biden are going to dramatically cut the defense spending as Obama, Biden did during their 8 years. So what'll that do? That'll wipe out things like the Philly shipyard, the shipyard in Marinette, combat vehicle plants in Lima, Ohio, York, Pennsylvania, Oshkosh. Arizona right now is just booming because of the defense budget. They've got all 5 of the major defense companies there. So you do that. Then if you look at the tax cuts, Kamala Harris said in the debate that they were going to immediately rescind the Trump tax cuts. Well, if you look at the state of Maine, this is incredible. Household income went up there by 25%. Home ownership went up by 6% because of the Trump tax cuts. Now, if you get rid of those, what's going to happen to Maine, which is one of the lowest income states in the country? If you go to energy, for example, we know, contrary to what they keep trying to lie to us about, that Biden at a minimum is going to put a halt to any new fracking and will ban it, because within about a year he's probably going to be out to pasture and Kamala's going to be sitting in the Oval Office. What'll that do to fracking in Pennsylvania, Ohio? And there was an interesting story, Maria, last week about how Wisconsin, even though it doesn't have petroleum resources, makes a lot of jobs and money off the sand that goes into the fracking. So if you go through these kinds of things and just look at the different kind of issues between Trump versus Biden, and of course the trade issue. I mean, Joe Biden, it's like NAFTA, it's like not made in America, it's made in Mexico, China into the WTO. So at the end of the day, for your sophisticated viewers, I mean, this is really a tale of 2 economic plans and 2 forecasts. So for me, I see depflation, okay, depression, inflation in a Biden scenario where we'll get into the next year and the year after that, and all they'll do is throw money at the problem. They won't understand the underlying structural issues. They'll raise taxes. They'll go to this kind of get everybody off petroleum kind of thing, and we'll have big issues, and the dollar, we'll have a lot of dollars floating around, a lot of inflation. Donald J. Trump, go with the program, and we'll get back to January 2020 where we were lowest unemployment rate ever for blacks, Hispanics, women veterans, disabled, rising wages, particularly for blue-collar workers. This is about economic nationalism versus globalism on the Biden side. And by the way, don't forget about the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party infected this country with a virus. They need to be held accountable.
Right.
Joe Biden's not going to do that.
So, Peter, President Trump is headed to Pennsylvania tomorrow for a campaign rally, continuing his pitch to bring back American jobs, pull this economy out of the pandemic recession. What is the plan to help American workers? How significant will we see the onshoring move, what Nancy Lazar is calling a manufacturing renaissance?
The key to the whole onshoring really are the Trump tariffs. I mean, if we've learned anything from that, if you look at the Trump tariffs on China, for example, the trade deficit with China finally began to fall in 2018. We never really seen that before. If you look at in Pennsylvania, I mean, what's Joe Biden, the kid from Scranton who hadn't been there since he was 9 years old, which was, I don't know, 70 years ago, right? He's going to take off the steel and aluminum tariffs. You can take that to the bank. What's that going to do? We had 29 separate steel investment projects worth billions and billions of dollars right there in places like Pennsylvania. So, again, I think this campaign is the Democrats want to make it about something else than China and the economy. And the president is going to be traveling all around this country, reminding people that he is the greatest jobs president, the greatest trade negotiator in history. And if we're going to get through the troubles that we have now, the troubles we have right now, it's going to take somebody who understands how to build an economy. Joe Biden's proved he's not that guy. So, again, if you just go down the forecast,